she never wavered. She was like, I didn't know where her head was at. And like I said, I was like, she's going to divorce me. She's going to divorce me. I can't let that deter me. I've done enough damage. I can't go backwards now. I'm sorry. I said, I coined the fucking word.
This is going to hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
Who made your bed? I said, I did. He goes, you must be law enforcement or military. Nobody makes a bed like that. Like, he was like a really cool guy. He's like, what do you need garbage bags for? I said, I'm not going to suffocate anybody. I said, just give it to me. I was tying him up, putting him on my body. Anyway, I walked out of there 214 pounds. In the best shape I have been in, you know, I was lifting and running and sprinting and doing everything I possibly could. It was a mind thing. You have to get yourself to that point. As you go through recovery, you sort of get off. Like, you know, I want to stay in fabulous shape, but I want to eat too. I want to enjoy life. I got other distractions going on, you know, so like you put that weight on from the not drinking and the working out, you put it on again. You know what I mean? You sort of go down that path. Then you get frustrated. Why ain't I doing it? So you become normal in that respect. So you're not like losing your mind because you don't drink anymore. You know, it's just like, okay, I got to watch what I eat. I thought that if I never drank again, I'd be 185-pound Bobby when I was 18 years old. You know, well, that's never coming back, dude. You know what I mean? But it was for a little bit of time.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you because when you were in the throes of your drinking, you just thought that was your life, right? This is the way that it is, right?
Yeah.
That changed.
Yeah.
So I think that can change as well. I mean, listen, age catches up on you. I understand that.
I'm not saying that I can't. I'm just saying you become more relaxed. And when you're secure in your recovery, you tend to, okay, I don't go to the gym 5 days a week anymore. I get there 3 if I can. You know, now I'm starting to work out again, you know, because my youngest one's going and I'm in it now. I'm eating better. But you're doing good, and you don't, like, when you're really worried about it, like, you should always be worried about it, but you're okay, I got to do this. I got to stay in my routine, because if I don't, I might drink. You know, there's all kinds of struggles with recovery.
Well, has there ever been a time where you've been tempted the most?
No.
Really?
Not one time in almost 4 years have I said, I'm going to go drink right now, or I want to drink. Nope.
Never want to drink?
Nope.
See, that's...
And his Super Bowl parties, he has a bunch of the guys over, and they're all sitting down and
Banged
drinking
up,
beer. They're
shots.
doing this. Bobby just comes out and like his cup of tea and sits there and watches.
And bust my balls. That's what I do. I just
and take their
pick
money.
them apart. I always win, so that's a good thing.
One of the things that I do when I go to those parties where everybody's drinking, I'll have a cup in my hand, just water, or, you know, whatever's there, because I don't want people even to come up to me. Like I just don't want to hear it. Like I don't ever explain to anybody, nah, I'm sober. I don't do that type of thing. I just stay away from me. Like don't ask me to drink. I'm good. I got to drink. No, I'm good. I got to drink. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the same headspace that you are.
No, I think you are, because this is what happens with me. If we all go out, like, and, you know, you guys can do whatever you want. You're drinking, you know. I can't be around. I have a hard time with when someone's already been drinking for like 5-6 hours and they're talking to me and I can smell it. And it's like, hey, listen, I'm not judging you. I'm not that guy. Go fucking do whatever you want. I worry about guys. I worry about people. Because I was going to kill somebody one of these days drinking and driving. I do worry about that with people. But hey, listen, it's your life. Fucking, you might have to learn the hard way. I hope not. I have a dozen friends. My cops are the worst offenders, and we all know that. Like, yeah, fucking hey, look at this, dude. You're fucking, you know. But in any event, I don't like that. So I kind of like, yeah, what's up, man? And then I leave. Like, and then I don't let it bother me too much, because it's not my fault. I can't be like that. And maybe it's me thinking, I wish I was fucked up. Maybe I'm being selfish in that respect. Like, I don't like when people are repeating themselves and shit like that. Like, I don't do that anymore. So I'm good till 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's everybody's witching out, right? That's when you start, like, from 10 to 12 and
start
then 12 to 2.
Cresting that hill.
I know, because I'm a pro. I'm a fucking pro. I know exactly about that. You know, a lot of times I lasted a little longer than other people, but it's another story. But in any event.
10 o'clock in the morning was this.
Why is it? Oh, yeah. Where's my truck?
It's God's flashlight.
But, you know, laughter's the best medicine. So you can make jokes about yourself. We can all joke about it, and we can be serious with each other about things that we've done. But for people that are listening and people that really have a problem, when you're walking out an after hours club in Newark at 11 o'clock in the morning and nobody speaks English there and you don't speak any Spanish or Brazil or fucking any dialect from Brazil or fucking Portuguese, there's a fucking problem and you can't find your truck for 2 days and you don't give a fuck what your wife or your family thinks, there's a problem. And listen, not everybody has a family. Not everybody has a bunch of people around them, but then it becomes a self-respect issue. How are people viewing me that do like me, that do care about me? I don't want to be that guy.
I will say this, though. There was never a time in my adult life, or no, like, let's say my family life, where I got in a car. I walked, left my truck. That's the only thing, it's the only bad decision I never made was get in my car and drive. Because I was so afraid of getting a DUI because that would just spiral everything.
I have one already.
Yeah, I was so
but
afraid.
I had it when I was 21. But what I started doing at the end is just Uber or get a ride home. I wasn't, I was too fucked up to even know where my car was half the time.
Yeah.
But that was at the end. And like I said, to each their own. I did more wrong for 1,900 different people together equals me. It's just if I could help somebody, just by a little story. And that's the other thing. Like we talked about it before. You never know what's going to trigger your thing to dial it back or to stop drinking or to go get help. You're never going to know. You never know what's going to trigger that.
Until it happens.
Like I said, a guy came to me and said, go talk to this guy. I talked to the guy. I didn't want to. I said, no, please. I went and talked to him. I said, you know my story, right? How, I've been sober. I was sober for about a year. He's like, yeah, I know it. What are you telling me for? I don't have a problem. I said, fair enough. And that was it, and walked away.
Well, you can't get help unless you admit the problem.
It has to. So that's why I always say, man, I gotta slow down. I need an oil change. Whatever it is, however you articulate it for yourself. When you hear somebody say that, they're admitting that it's starting to become a problem, or that I need to fix this current situation. Whatever it is, like I said, it's just tough. It's a really, really hard situation.
Your life is so much better now. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. Give us something specific where your life is so much better now. Is it your relationship with your family, your kids, your job?
All the above. I can't pick one particular thing. It's just better because I'm a better person. I'm easier to get along with. I'm more reasonable. I'm not. I was always on edge. I was always thinking about how I could get out of the house to go drink. I used to start fights in the house.
See, for me, I think
to go.
I think it's my clarity of thought, because my thought process, what I thought were good decisions back then, they were not good decisions.
Yeah, that comes with the territory. So decision making is the first thing. I have a lot of clarity. I'm very lucid, and I don't make bad decisions. It's like I just don't. I know what I need to do, and I'm much more responsible. I'm much more responsible with my money, with dude. This is a story I don't open. I've never told this story. One person knows this story. The guy I was with last night. You guys follow social media. He was my boy. He was my partner in the Hudson County Narcotics Task Force. His wife has a pawn shop. And she still does. She owns it. Jersey City. There's two of them in Jersey City. She owned both of them. I had a really nice necklace. With a beautiful cop badge. Silver, all white gold. It's got to be worth about $2,500. The whole thing. Didn't have any money to go out drinking. Had nothing. I was kind of broke. We paid everything. I had $50 a month. I needed money. I needed money to drink. And I knew I was going out for 2 days in a row with the guys and shit. I went to her place. I hocked my shit. Now, this was a necklace my wife had bought me and also the badge. And now with the price of gold going up, it was worth twice as much as what she paid for it. I think she paid $800 for the necklace and $250 for the badge. The badge was solid. If I hit you in the head, it'd open you up. I think it was nice. You know what I'm talking about. It was a nice one. She took it and she gave me $2,200 or something, whatever she gave me cash. And then 5 years later, I was sober. Now I was sober. This is 10 years ago. I thought she melted it down. I never went back for it. That money went in a matter of a day and a half. That was me, buying drinks and drinking and doing whatever. about 3 years ago, I was out with my boy, and he goes, "Hey, Erica told me to give you this. She kept the badge. She never melted it down." It's the only time I've gotten really emotional because that was my badge. That was my original badge, number 33. That was my police badge. So that was like a sign for me. It's like, wow, something's right for me.
Somebody's looking out for you.
Yeah, it's like, dude, and she's a sweetheart, but she said I just couldn't melt this down on him. I said, this is something that he got like when he got hired, by the police department. Like that's something that'll sit in my drawer. I don't even wear it that much. I usually wear a cross, but like once in a while I'll put it on.
Did your wife know that story?
No, she's gonna find out when she watches though. That son of a bitch.
I was wondering why you never wore that again.
I actually got the same necklace. I went and found the same necklace and got it.
So your wife's got to be ultra proud of your journey as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never met your wife. She's got to
really,
she's got to be a strong woman.
She's
great lady.
the female version of me.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The no nonsense like female version of Bobby.
And
She's a real warrior.
when you went in, what was her reaction versus when you came out?
She never wavered. She was like, I didn't know where her head was at. And like I said, I was like, she's going to divorce me. She's going to divorce me. I can't let that deter me. I've done enough damage. I can't go backwards now. I'm sorry. I said, I coined the fucking word. I said I was sorry. Like it didn't have any meaning. Me apologizing had no meaning anymore.
But does she look at you side eye now if you're going out?
Not at all.
Never.
Trust me 100%. If I'm going out, she knows I'll never fucking stop and drink. She's like, she just knows it. And she's like, I never go out. I go out, I come home, I really don't do anything.
What makes her so certain?
I guess she believes in me.
Wow, that's.
And like, listen, you
give me
got to
your
earn
wife's
that.
number because she's got to talk to my wife.
Well, you got to earn that as you go. And she sees what I did. Look, listen, I still have the same old shit. Like, listen, when I was coaching, it was like, are you fucking kidding me? How long you been at that dining room table all day? All day. This is important. What? The laundry and this and that, all this other shit wasn't important? I go, not really. This is important. But like, she respected the way I did things. She always respected the fact the way I did my job at the police department. But we still have the same arguments about finances and stuff. But life in general is just better because I'm reliable. I was never reliable.
I was going to say, your finances got to be a little bit better now that you're not drinking.
Oh, yes.
Spending all that
Believe
money.
me. They are, and not, dude.
But my wife
You know
never
how
knew
many
how.
watches I hawked to drink? I mean, I'm seriously had like the bad problem. Like I was looking for money, borrowing money.
Yeah.
I borrowed money. I think I owe money still to people. They just haven't got. They're probably scared to come.
Well, my wife, part of that is my wife never knew how bad I got because I was never in the house. I would always just hang out in the garage or hang out. Especially when I wasn't working, I wasn't able to work. I would sit out front in a chair with my drink and just be out of the house. The kids are inside screaming. I couldn't take it anyway. And, I was trying to drink away my sorrows and my problems and how my life was going to change and what my life look like moving forward. But that's an amazing story because there are very few people that are strong enough to be a witness to what their husband or their wife is going through. Mm-hmm. They just can't take it, and once you break that bond of trust, it's over. It's over, but my hat's off to her.
It's funny. I'll never forget. Right before Bobby went to rehab, he called me up one day. He goes, "Mike, listen." He goes, "I'm not telling too many people, but I'm going to tell you." He goes, "I'm going to go into rehab." Took my phone. I went, "Is that really Bobby?" Bobby saying he's going to go.
I could see it being like because it was such a. You get used to the way people are. That's them, and Bobby's being Bobby.
Yeah, but you work into it, but it doesn't mean you got to like it. And I'm sure she just saw this disaster.
Oh yeah, there were some incidents that between her and I that were borderline like crazy, and it was me, you know what I mean? But it was her lashing out at me because of who I have become, and I just knew it was a collective, just a collective thing of all these things that happened with me. That's why I think it happened the way it did. We had such a great weekend when I finally had my clarity moment that. They were like, what happened? That was the big thing in rehab. What happened? What was your trigger? What made this happen? Nothing. I said, years. Just happened to have a great time, and for some reason, it happened after a great weekend of not even I drank. I mean, the one thing I think I told you guys this. The one thing I have weird things. I did weird things when I drank. With like, they asked me, "What did you normally drink?" That's the first question they ask when you go in. Doctor says it, or the nurse. So what do you mean what I normally drink? She goes, "What would you normally drink on any given night?" I said, "I would usually drink 11 beers before I started drinking." She goes, "What?" I go, "I would drink 11." She goes, "Why 11?" I said, "I like 11. I like the number." She goes, "The last time you drank," she goes, "Did you do that?" I said, "Hell yeah. I drank 11 of my friend Greg's beers at the hotel before we went to dinner across the street. We were at some winery for a soccer. Imagine having a soccer tournament at a winery. That's right up my. I was like, winery, let's go. But I drank 11 beers, and she was like, "You're being serious." I go, "I'm not there. You'll never hear me lie about anything I ever did when it came to, addiction. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you everything. 11 beers, and then I drank. I think I drank a bottle, a fifth of Tito's, and walked like an arrow right into the house. Nothing."
I'm so glad that you're sober now. I would have liked to seen a little bit of it back then, so I could do a comparison. Because I think you're a wonderful guy. I think you're a wonderful coach. I've watched you. I lean on you when I have coaching issues. And I don't know whether that would be the same if you were still drinking.
No, when I was drinking, I was still the coach. Like I mean, anybody could ask me, and like I always tell people this, and I love to say this because it's true. I'm really not that great of a coach. I just work harder than the other coaches, or I say I do. They all work hard. Everybody that does it. If you don't, then you're a failure. You have to work hard. But I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of these guys, but I sit down and I talk to them and I pick something up and then I put it into my own thing.
But it seems like you've applied that to sobriety too. You don't have the secrets to sobriety. You're just willing to work harder.
Well, we all say in coaching, we want our players to be the best version of themselves, not just on the field, but in life. And it's cliche-ish, and everybody says it now. Nick Saban probably invented it. But it's true. And so I try to be the best version of myself. I don't know if I'll ever attain whatever that is, but I am the best. Right now, I'm the best version of myself. And I still have 100 flaws. You're always going to have flaws. It's never going to be perfect.
Bob, could you imagine? Listen, I know you just went through the whole recruiting process with Ian. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's
Thank
going
you very much.
Salve Regina.
Yeah.
Could you imagine doing this if you were still drinking, going through that whole recruiting process?
The problem with me with that stuff is we'd go somewhere and then I would have to have a drink when we went somewhere. It wouldn't have been good. It would have took away from it.
Yeah.
It would have took away from his thing. My kids, you asked a question before about like what like makes me feel like, I guess, like grateful or whatever. I forget the actual wording of the question, but the way my kids reacted to my sobriety, I didn't realize they saw that much. You're ignorant to that when you're drinking. You're not really paying attention. And if you're saying it wasn't that bad, you're lying to yourself because they see so much shit. And they see a lot of things. And then you don't know what sides they're going to take. You don't know their kids. They might see something completely different than you actually know it is. And that's an issue down the line because you have a relationship with these people. So they saw things and I rectified it. And they constantly, my daughter's the biggest one. Thank you for doing that because she understands. She saw, and my son too, Ian, he was like, Shane, he just, he's kind of a different animal, but he gets it. And everybody says, we're so happy you don't drink anymore.
A good friend of mine always says, when you think nobody's watching, everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bobby, listen, we're coming to the end of this thing. And
I always get like 35 minutes.
What's
Hey,
up?
Andrew,
You're
a prick.
65.
We got 88 minutes on the
I
clock.
just want to let you know, prick. And I say that with love. Oh, you give me the heart, sweetie. Okay, baby.
You have an amazing journey of sobriety, and you really are a beacon to people looking to get to your place. To it looks like you're always trying to attain that better version of yourself. Grateful. You're strong. You're a hard worker. But this journey's taught you something. And you put in a lot of suffering in order to get to the place that you are right now. What do you think it's taught you?
To be humble. I think that's the biggest thing, never to think that I'm anything special because I'm not. I got a better spiritual connection with God. Like I'm not a big religious guy. I don't go to church. You know, I don't, but I think it taught me to be more balanced, you know, and to recognize, you know, just to be here. You know what I mean? I like to help people. Like, I really do. And it's not the sobriety thing. That's just one thing. You know, I mean, if somebody wants help, they'll come ask me or they'll talk to me. Sometimes it's just some little conversation. But it's not that. It's just in general. It's everything. Like, I wanted to be this person, I think, my whole life. And it took me hopefully more than half of it to get to that point. You know, I didn't realize what I wanted to be. And now I'm where I am.
But you're an example. And we need more examples like you.
If I'm a positive example and and I'm doing something good, and listen, I'm all for everybody, but my family's the most important thing. I would do anything for them. I've sacrificed a lot for them, even in my drinking days, you know. And I think if you can actually say that, then you did something right.
The point I'm trying to make is sobriety to somebody who is not sober is ugly. It's something that most people don't want to face. But then you sit here and look at you. Okay, well, sobriety doesn't look so bad. You're still able to have a social life. You're still able to associate with people who do drink. You're still able to do all these things. It doesn't look so bad when you present it the way you present it.
Yeah, and it's an individual thing. It's how you... I'm fortunate that I can do the things that I do. Other people can't. They just can't. And everybody's situation is different too. So that's something that you got to take into account when you're looking at yourself. Like, what's my situation and why am I like this? Everybody knows why. They just don't want to fucking admit it, you know? And it's not a bad thing. It's good to be honest with yourself. I know plenty of guys who know that they have a problem. They just don't do anything about it.
Sometimes you just got to turn that mirror on yourself.
Every now and then, when it happens, it happens.
Bobby, thank you so much for coming in, laying that all
You're
on
welcome.
the line for us.
Thank you.
Bob, you're a great guy and a great friend. You know that.
Thank you,
I got
Michael.
much love for you.
I have much love for you. You have no idea how much I love you. And you know, I
can take care of you.
I got to tell you,
Bob, we'll
because
keep
of him,
him around.
I met you, and you're just a class act. You really are. You're a classy guy.
And if you've never had that drinking problem, our paths would have never crossed like they have. So I'm
Yeah,
great.
everything happens for a reason. See, you lucked
well,
out.
we did the suffering of breaking balls, so he probably would have been drunk
Yeah,
for
he
that.
would
Would have been funnier.
You lucked out. Yeah, no, I would have got thrown out of the studio. Or I would have threw Andrew like a dart through that glass. Yeah, heart, honey.
Diamond head.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, The Suffering of Sobriety with Bobby Crudele. And let's think about all the stuff that we learned. Nobody drinks heavily for no reason. You never had to go to the bathroom so bad as if you haven't gone in a porta-john. Bobby is definitely not normal. Always use a spotter. Everything happens for a reason, but most importantly, life is beautiful when you're sober. You're living proof of that. And that's going to do it for this episode. Don't forget to check out the Oakley Kitchen at 789 Bloomfield Avenue in Nutley, New Jersey. Go to popple.com, get your digital business card, put in the code TSP20 for a 20% discount. Follow us on all social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Clapper.
OnlyFans.
Follow Mike at Mike_Falaise. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson. And, of course, follow the Suffering Podcast. Don't forget to follow Bobby Crudele, Coach Crudele.
Gracias, amigos.
And we are going to see you on the next episode.